Hi everyone, I'm Juanica, also known as Miss Astrology, and the last full moon of 2020 is right at home in the sign of Cancer. And I actually love this energy. I think the universe is giving us one more opportunity to release, to let go of, to bring an ending to something so that we can continue to vibrate high from the Saturn and Jupiter conjunction that happened just 8 days ago. And in numerology, 8 is the number of new beginnings. And so this is asking us, this full moon is asking us to release or to let go of or to bring an ending so that we can really embrace this new beginning of 2021 of Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius, and going into, the new year, really being excited. But there's some things that we have to release first. And so you say, okay, what do I need to release? I'm glad you asked. Well, first, let me explain. When you get a full moon, this is just the sun being, so today the sun is at 8 degrees of Capricorn and the moon will be at 8 degrees of Cancer. And so the moon is currently in Cancer, but the moon does not go to 8 degrees. This doesn't make an exact opposition until later this evening. And so the sun is completely lighting up the moon. The moon is full and exposed, and this is a time that a lot of our sensitivities and emotions are being exposed and even being tested. These things that are brought up for us right now are being brought up so that we can recognize them and release them and let them go. And so you may say, okay, Juanica, I'm ready to let something go before I go into the new year. What exactly do I need to let go of? I don't know exactly what to do. Well, again, I'm glad you asked. The moon being in Cancer, this definitely speaks to sensitivities, emotions, moods, habits. The moon is at home in Cancer, so this is our foundations, our traditions. This may even have something to do with home life or our own childhood, our own early home life. This is a feminine energy and also often represents the mother. And so there may be feelings associated with those areas, emotions, sensitivities, moods that are associated with your foundation or your own security. You may have really been shook up in 2020 regarding securities and foundations, and you're really needing to let go emotionally. Maybe you were afraid. Your foundation was shook. How many for us security was not so certain in 2020? And so that's what this moon is saying. It's saying release those sensitivities, release those fears, release those moodiness or that moodiness that comes with, when you think about home, when you think about stability, when you think about your own traditions, like let all of that go. Don't get so upset about it. Don't think about it so much. Now, I do believe that water signs are going to be affected by this moon the most. So that is Cancers, of course, Scorpio and Pisces. You guys are really going to feel this the most because this moon trines any of your water aspects. So if you have a water, sun, moon, or rising, this moon is really going to affect you a lot. Also, because it's a cardinal sign, it's automatically going to square the other cardinal signs. And so while the water signs may find themselves really emotional, really moody, really sensitive when it comes to, now, it's going to be different for everybody, of course, right? Because the houses are involved. But generally speaking, overall speaking, this is going to be just your sensitivities and emotions around security and home and what makes you feel stable and your traditions even. And so water signs are probably going to be all in their feels and, not knowing where these emotions are coming from. Now, cardinal signs, so Capricorn, Cancers, Aries, and Libras, you guys are a square to this Cancer moon. So this may feel like tension. This may feel like stress. This may feel like, what in the hell? Why am I dealing with this right now? This actually may be people coming to you in ways that feel like emotional confrontation during this time. Now, luckily, this is only going to be for a couple days, but remember, full moon energy lasts for a while. As a matter of fact, this Cancer moon had an eclipse in June. So it was a lunar eclipse. It was a new moon in June, but then we also had a Capricorn eclipse in June. And so this is because, we had because the nodes, it has to do with the North Node and the South Node and all that. So we had this in June, and then now, so it's like whatever we dealt with in June, specifically water and cardinal signs, whatever you really dealt with in June could be coming back up for you now. You may have started something new happened. Maybe you thought you were establishing new foundations, new beginnings, new traditions, and some of that's just not working for you right now. And so in that, you're being asked to release, let it go, let it go. It's not yours. Let it go. No matter how much you wanted it to be, let it go. And so you may say, okay, Juanica, I'm willing to let it go. But how? How do I let it go? How do I let go of something that makes me feel a certain way, that stirs up emotions in me? How do I let go of feelings that I have that are associated with my childhood and that are associated with security? I want to feel secure. I want to feel safe. Well, the answer to that still lies in the moon's placement. This moon is in Cancer. Cancer's key word is I nurture. And so it's nurturing those feelings, nurturing those emotions, recognizing them, thanking them even. I think for a lot of people, what we don't realize is that certain emotions, or all of our emotions, quite honestly, whether good or bad, started off as some sort of protection or service to us as individuals. It was something that, this was a defense mechanism, right? And so you're dealing with these emotions. I don't want to let go. I don't want to release. I'm crying because this isn't working out for me. I'm upset about this. It's so disappointing for me. And, we have those emotions because this is a protection that's saying, how does this feel? Protect your feelings. How does this feel? It's got to work out. You got to make something happen. You can do it. And it's like, you know what? I thank those emotions for coming in and showing up right now and serving a purpose. And I release you with a blessing. I got that saying one time. I went to my very favorite crystal shop here in Houston, and there was a guy that's just always willing to offer people Reiki sessions. And, this is the most powerful Reiki session I've ever had. And the one thing that he continued to have me repeat was, I release you with a blessing. Whatever memories, whatever emotions, whatever anxieties or thoughts that came up, I release you with a blessing. And that's the same thing with these sensitivities, with these moods, with these habits. The moon is even our habits. So all of this is to be released with a blessing. We acknowledge that those emotions, those decisions, even when we started this new activity or this new foundation or this new tradition, back in June, this served a purpose and this seemed good. And we may have been holding on to it all this time because we don't want to feel defeated. We want to feel like we can do it. We want to have hope and faith and belief that we can make anything happen. But now it is time to release and to let that go. You've stuck in there, you've hung in there, and you've learned from this. And now it's time to release these emotions, release these sensitivities, these moods, these habits with a blessing so that you are able to open up. Remember, Jupiter is bringing opportunities, right? It's bringing luck. It's bringing higher consciousness, a bigger level of faith. And so in order for us to receive that, we have to let go of these emotions. And in order for us to really learn in the discipline that Saturn in Aquarius is like, are you going to stand up for yourself? Are you going to be disciplined? Are you going to be focused? Are you going to be structured? Are you going to grow? In order for us to really grow, we got to release some emotions. We got to release some of our sensitivities, release some of our moods that we hold on to, because they feel good to us. They feel safe to us. It feels like if I just be like a crab and retreat to my home, nobody's going to hurt me. Nobody's going to bother me. I'm going to be good. And yes, that protects us. But how much do we grow in that area, right? How much do we elevate? How much is our faith tested and then elevated if we are retreating and staying to ourselves and allowing these emotions to just rumble and boil and take over? And so we got to nurture those emotions. We got to thank them. We got to release them and move on. Now, if you're going to do a ritual that includes this moon, I absolutely, with the moon being in a water sign, I would absolutely do some kind of spiritual bath, bathing, rinsing off with water, because it's a full moon and this is about releasing. It's just about really like pouring the water on yourself, and as it's draining, as it's coming off of you, releasing those emotions with a blessing, releasing those habits with a blessing, releasing those sensitivities with a blessing. Let it go. Let it go. If this means crying tears, you cry those tears, you thank those tears, and you let them go. And let them know you don't need them anymore. You want to grow, you want to elevate, and so you want to release this. You thank them for everything that they protected you from, the direction they steered you in, the ideas that they gave you, but now they are free to grow because you want to elevate. You want to go to this higher level where there's more opportunity, more luck, more prosperity, more faith, where your higher self is. This is all Jupiter and Aquarius. And also you want to learn discipline. And for a lot of us, Saturn represents boundaries and walls. And for a lot of us, we need to let those walls down. We need to let those boundaries down. And a part of that is releasing these emotions that really serve to protect us, but they're not really protecting us anymore. They're hiding us now. And we can't be hidden as we walk into the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is all about humanity, all about the collective. And we really got to put ourselves out there in order to fully contribute to the collective, like we will be needed to as we move forward into 2021. So I hope this helps. I did already shuffle the deck, and actually I had a card pull this morning that I thought was perfect for this reading, so I definitely wanted to share. It's the bear, and the bear says, be sensitive to where you are at and reflect on where you most need healing. It won't find it. That's fancy. I have on my screen. Be sensitive to where you are at and reflect on where you need healing, and let those sensitivities go and open yourself up for healing. Healing is not easy, but sometimes you just got to pull the Band-Aid off and let that wound get some fresh air, right? Like, you can't keep it covered up. You've got to allow it to be revealed so that it can truly heal in that way. So be sensitive. Reflect on the areas where you most need healing. And then get ready to walk into 2021. I'm super excited, you guys. I think it's going to be an amazing year. I think this moon is really setting us up in order to embrace the new year. The moon will still be in Cancer at the exact time of I believe it'll still be in Cancer. It's like it's at maybe 4 degrees right now of Cancer. So it'll still be in Cancer as we move into New Year's Day. But definitely do a ritual. Also, I do want to say that tonight, while the moon is full, is a really good time to put your crystals out to be charged. Now, the other thing I do want to say, because of course you want to use these crystals in a ritual, right? That would represent the crystals, could represent Earth, and the sun is in an Earth sign right now. The thing that I do want to say, though, about your crystals, when you put them out, you don't got to leave them out all night, you guys. You can wait until the sun goes down, which is what, 6:30 right now. Put them outside for a couple hours. It's like your cell phone. Your cell phone does not need to be on the charger all night when you have a turbocharger. A full moon is a turbocharger. So you can put your crystals out for, 2 hours. Let them charge fully under the moonlight. And if I was you, I would put them on the ground because, again, the sun is in an earth sign. So I would put them somewhere where they're actually touching the earth and they're getting that moon to really be charged, and then to go ahead and use them in your rituals. So as you're releasing, holding on to, maybe you hold a crystal while you're bathing and you're releasing and you're staying grounded. And you even were saying that I stay grounded in reality and I release the emotions with a blessing. I release these emotions with a blessing, and I stay grounded in the reality of what is to come in your higher self and your higher potential. So I hope this video helped. I hope you guys have a great day. Happy full moon and happy new year. Drop a comment. Let me know what you thought about this video. My schedule is open for next year, so I'm ready to start more readings, and please be looking for more to come from me as we head into the new year. So remember the motto, I release it with a blessing. So I hope this helps you guys. Let me know in the comments. Talk to you soon. Peace.